Hey, hi. Mic's on now. Mic's checks on me. Mic checks is
Yes.
on us. Go ahead.
And welcome once again to Taking the Journey Together. I am Sharon Orzare, and I'm here with, or should I say, he's here with me, with him. However that goes, we are here together, taking this journey together. And this is Craig or Imar, and we are still journeying.
Journaling, not just journeying. What's the other word that you do with writing stuff in the book?
Journaling.
We are journaling. Every journal, every journey should have a journal,
Exactly.
especially since it's writing like pages in a book.
Yes.
And quite frankly, when you're in a relationship, you are like two books
Yes.
that are being created and read by people at the same time. Some
Yes.
people will say biblically living tabernacles. But anyway,
And
no doubt
because
about it, we're
because
being
of
learned, or excuse me, they're learned about, saw about, and at the same time,
yeah,
we're writing them. So, hey, this is our journal, I guess. Go ahead.
exactly, and
Yeah.
because of an idea that Imar had, I am starting to put down some of the I guess you could say experiences and uh, excursions and wonderful things that we have had uh, as a part of our journey. And I'm starting to put those down so that I can work on, and we can do it together. Work on our no more journey.
Mhm.
Get things set up because beauty. But I'm going to start off by stating our belief statement. Um, we believe we are going to relate. Doesn't matter what our mother says, what our father says, what our children say, or even
Mhm.
what Jesus says. We are going to relate. At taking the journey together, we believe in relating in a balanced way. And what we mean by balance is you start a relationship with your friend, you move that into a lovership, and you have for your friend, you're in a relationship with your friend and your lover, and it's coming from both sides. That's a balanced, that is the groundwork to a thriving, healthy, balanced relationship.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
So today we are going to continue talking about maintenance,
Maintenance.
relationship maintenance. This is part 5. And so for part 5, we're going to switch it up a little bit and do something that's a little bit different. And good evening to those of you who are coming in and watching and connecting with us. We appreciate you being here and we appreciate your presence.
Yeah, make sure that what they have up here someplace when I find it. Where is it at? I used to be up here.
Share and
Yeah,
share.
share, and share. I don't see the share anymore. Share it with your friends.
There it is.
Share it with your
Up one,
enemies.
down.
Share it with everybody. Just share, share,
Yes.
share.
Yes.
Yeah, we got some good things we're going to be talking about this time.
Yes, we're going to shake
Also,
it up
too.
a little bit and do something just a little bit
Little
different.
different,
Yes.
different, but it still has to do under the guise of maintenance
Maintenance.
in your
Yes.
relationship because it's important. I keep forgetting the camera's over there.
Yeah,
you,
me too.
you look like you want to look straight here, but our camera is
Exactly.
way over there. Look at the camera. Let me see how well. Are you looking at the
I'm
camera?
looking at the camera.
Oh, when I look at the camera, my eyes move too far when you're looking at the screen.
No.
Oh, okay. Looks like the camera's way over here, but I guess your eyes fool
Well,
everybody thinking that.
it is because I guess as we're looking at the camera is
It's looking at us.
us.
I like that. Was a good one. Definitely a good one. So we're going to be talking about maintenance like we've always did, but this time we're going to be talking about maintenance in a way that we really didn't bring up before. Excuse me, because I thought I had it there. I guess in someplace. Because this time we're going to talk about maintenance that has to do with some points that other couples and people are going to bring up and give as examples. I think that's very important instead of just us, because you might be thinking we're the only ones coming up with this. We're the only ones in turn trying to preach this message, or we're the only ones who try to tell our people what to do.
Yes.
And I
or
know,
see an issue even.
and at the same time, we're not really practicing well, we're trying the best. Sometimes we get tested and we don't do too well. Bottom line is there's some other folks out there who are also trying to speak about these issues that are very real, that are happening as patterns over in relationship. And culture-wise, many times in our black folks' relationships, our relationships that are happening. And in turn, people are speaking about it because it seems like this is the time of transparency. You can't hide too much. And if you do, you got to have, I say that not just a good reason, but one thing is for sure, there should be something that's righteous in this matter, especially from the standpoint, not everybody's perfect. But one thing is for sure, because of that, that's why maintenance is important to have in your relationship, because there is no such thing as perfect in a relationship. We're all trying to work on being balanced, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So go ahead and go through the acronym again for those who are new, and let's get the show on the road and play the first one.
Okay.
And I think about which one. Anyway, we'll play one of them. Tell about mutual relationship, please, there.
Okay.
Acronym.
We're going to start with we have an acronym for maintenance,
Mhm.
and the M is for mutual respect, which is respecting each other's boundaries, opinions, and individuality and interdependence, which is essential for a balanced relationship. Then we have the first A is active listening, listening to each other's thoughts, feelings, and concerns without judgment or interruption. The next one is I, intimacy and affection, maintaining emotional and physical intimacy through quality time, affection, and shared experiences. The first N is nurturing growth, supporting each other's personal growth, goals, and aspirations while growing together as a couple. And then we have T, which is trust and transparency, which means building and maintaining trust through open and honest communication and being transparent about thoughts, feelings, and actions. And which is also very important. The first E is empathy and understanding, showing empathy and understanding for each other's perspectives, emotions, and experiences. The next N is navigating conflicts constructively. And that has to do with addressing conflicts and disagreements in a respectful and constructive manner and focusing on finding solutions rather than, because I don't want to read something incorrectly here.
This is no government test.
I know.
Relax.
I am.
Man, go ahead.
I am. I'm at and that's. I think
it's not.
That's
Relax.
that's as far as we went.
Thank you. Sure.
That's as far as we went last time.
If your relationship turns into a military academy, then you have academy. You don't have a relationship.
Exactly. It's not the right place.
It's a military regiment kind of relationship. It's not a marriage / friendship between two human beings that love each other relationship. That's a big difference. I'm going to name 3 or 4 different things that make a difference.
Yes.
So let's see if we can put in this, where is it at? I know you can with that at least.
Yeah.
That one?
Now,
go ahead.
Now,
that's right.
Yes.
Cool.
And so this one goes along with emotional
outbreaks like the one I just did. How's that?
And
like the one I just did.
Yes.
Because that's what some people look at it being an emotional outbreak.
And
you cut her off and then you...
Wow. And that's okay. Because...
My delivery may not been something that you're comfortable with, no doubt about it, even though I did it before. And maybe other people might be comfortable with delivery. But the fact was, it came off an emotional feeling that I spoke of.
Yes.
And this is one of the things of dealing with in maintenance relationship, is dealing with men's emotions.
And making, and understanding that that's okay.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they have to say. I think that's very important. What you think?
I agree.
Let's get them on the screen. There they are. And we'll get them all the way over here. Here. I wish I could make this bigger, but I can't. So we'll have to go from there. Is it okay?
That's okay.
Here we go. Take this off of, we'll call it, and go.
or not.
Never mind. Hold on for a second.
We're gonna get this in just a minute, so just kind of
Yeah,
bear
wonder.
with us.
I think one of the sounds is down. I don't know which one is. Open volume.
Yes. So
Oh, I know. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. It was my bad. I turned it down before. So we'll go forward. We'll go back through. Here we go. Okay, let's stop this for a minute. What did you think about that? Sorry for the spooling that went on. It's an internet connection and where we're at our studio, so that's the reason why. But tell me, what did you think about that? Give us an overview of what they were trying to say, even through the times it was spooling that she was trying to say about dealing with, especially African American male, and the idea of emotions that they're involved. Because I think she said something that was astronomically new I ever heard before, though I feel that way, and it needs to be told and spoke up on. I'm gonna put up on Father's Day. But anyway, what was it that she said? Did you hear it all?
The main thing that I heard from her was a message to females to say, let your man be able to express himself. And part of that expression is the ability to be vulnerable. And when she talked about we all want a little bit of a thug, somebody that we can see as a protector. Well, if we see that protector, that man as our protector and only our protector, then where are his emotions going? Where is he going to feel like he can be nurtured? Where is he going to? And this is just me talking, but and this is what I got from what she said.
Okay.
Okay.
You're trying to convince me, convince them, convince yourself.
I'm convincing nobody. I'm just saying how I feel.
If you're not convincing nobody, why are you even speaking?
No,
you're on the show with us to convince somebody. First, got to start with yourself.
Be honestly, I'm already convinced.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm already convinced.
All right. I just want to make sure.
What I'm trying to do is let other females know that what she said is something that is very profound, especially in this day and age when we have so many of us who are saying, well, I got to be hard as a female. No, you don't. But you should allow the man in your life to be soft without thinking he's being feminine. Allow him to have his moments where he may want to cry, where he may want to be alone for a few minutes, where he may want to pour his heart out to you. Allow that without making him feel less than a man.
Or let's not do the dive into the usual ones that we see that men will roll into, especially African American men, was his anger and rage. You probably don't want to let that be something that you comfortably accept, that you comfortably feel it's good as part of maintenance. And letting it go. No, But I think she's trying to say, because that's emotion, that is emotion. It's a stereotypical emotion that's usually pushed out about us black men. I will say this to you. The maintenance she's talking about that you saw here from the standpoint of it, if allowed, all the other emotions that she's talked about, not just that emotion, if it turns to rage, not at all, then you will find out that that black man is really more stable.
Exactly. You know,
That's what she came out. That's what she said.
Yes.
That kind of black man or man with emotions. I said, oh man with emotions. They are more stable in all things, in all ways, in all different situations.
Yes.
What do you think about that? I thought it was pretty prolific that she said that.
I agree. I think so too. And because of that, I want to jump back to something that you said earlier when I was saying scroll it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying it's not a test. You don't have to be that serious about it. Just end it where it's ended. People might have thought that you were being kind of cross with me. I did not see it that way. I see it as you are expressing how you feel. And it's okay for that to come out however it comes out. And the fact of the matter is, you were correct. I was being anal with it. I was taking it to more of an extreme. And part of that was because I was at a position where I was reading so that I could get it right. And I forgot the fact that it doesn't have to be perfect. We're putting some information out there. But at the same time, I realize the stress that you're under because of other things that are happening outside of this. And that stress is not going to end just because we come on the show. It's still a part of what you're dealing with. So to me, that's no big deal. The way you say, you cut me off. It's no big deal. It's okay.
So in other words, what you're saying is you're putting it all in perspective.
Absolutely.
You know, it gets me when you say that, which is very beautiful that you are saying that, is that there are many a times shows and in my own life where if a female black woman or a female being moved into that, it's my prerogative to change my mind, mainly my feelings, then it'd be overlooked as that's how she is, either female being or just human, right?
Right.
And it may not be a lot of backdrop or backstory, even though sometimes at press a backstory does come, and there's a reason behind it, because it would be. But yet, when it comes over to a male, especially a black male, that's not at all allowed. What's not being allowed? They're not allowed to be human.
Yes.
Because it could be a backstory.
Yes.
And most likely there is a backstory.
And here's a backstory that we don't want to talk about. A lot of times that pressure that I can't be I can't be weak or show signs of weakness. That whole thing of I got to be strong. I got to be manlike. A lot of times that backstory started in childhood when a mother or a father or both said, "Don't you cry. You're not a man. You don't cry, even though you're 5 years old. Men don't cry." That message comes from the smallest age. It's by the time a lot of male children are ready to go to school, they have been already indoctrinated into the attitude and the idea, you got to be hard. Don't you show any tears around anybody. You fight before you cry. And things of that sort that keeps a male from growing up emotionally healthy.
Exactly. And so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. And so at this point, we as women have to not only stop that message going to our young sons, but we also need to tell our husbands, our boyfriends, our the men in our lives that it's okay for you to be vulnerable.
I think at the same time, I'm going to try to play this again. Someone asked a question. What is maintenance?
Relationship maintenance.
Relationship maintenance. I'll say it again. You want to speak what relationship? Maybe we didn't speak it up the first time.
I didn't. I went right straight into.
But thank you, whoever brought that up.
Yes.
Let's bring it again.
easy for me to say, right?
Hmm.
Relationship maintenance is working together to create a balanced, healthy, and fulfilling relationship built on the foundations of love, respect, and mutual understanding. And in order to do that, we have to look at the different areas that I spoke about in the beginning and focus on
Being too
how
anal. Being too going like down to the
I
military.
am. I
And
am.
you can't even
And,
help it.
and you know
You
what?
can't even help
You
it.
know what?
You
are.
can. Well, you really can.
I can.
You really can.
But
But for some reason, you like it.
Yeah.
That's why you keep on rolling.
I get into that, and then I fall into teacher mode, which I got to get out of.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know why that particular
Yeah.
part is needed to be taught in this relationship
And
side.
it is not.
When what should be teaching is the relationship side. We're not teaching people how to be military staff sergeants in a relationship.
Which is something I don't even know.
That's going to work well. Again, I mean,
Yes.
It's not the military. We're not trying to do war. I mean,
Yes.
come on now.
Yes.
Lighten up.
Keep it basic.
I think also too, I was going to say, because I'm going to have this played again.
Mm-hmm.
It has to also do with there it is. Yeah, it's also a lot to do with. Just hope they can do it at the same time. Put it over here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. It also has a lot to do with the fact that many sisters and many women need to own the statement I've heard many times in my life, starting from my mom and the rest in my life, girls and women I've dated with, which is my emotions are my emotions, and I have a right to them. They make me who I am. I mean, I've heard that almost so many words. So own that, but also understand that we as males have the right to own that.
Yes.
Because it also makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Martin,
yes.
Excuse me. Let's start the one that I have a much more heart for. Malcolm X was the most emotional man that you could see. And you could hear it by the passion of his conversations and what he spoke.
Tonality of his voice.
And his actions that he made. Now, a lot of y'all probably didn't see the emotional side that had to do with his smile, that had to do with his, his laughter. Now, there's some pictures out there that show that him. And when you see that smile and that laughter, you knew and you could feel it was genuine as for emotion. Mm-hmm. And you could see that he has did that many other times in his life. And that was also part of him being human. Yes. So we got to allow other Black men, especially coming to Father's Day, to allow our emotions be part of who we are. Nah, sisters, nah, out there. I ain't talking about the one that stereotypically is always pushed on us, that anger and that rage. We get enough in the movies. We get enough in TVs. We get enough from our rappers. We get enough on sports. We get enough of that. No, we're talking about the side of all the other emotions that she spoke of and more, which is not the thuggish one. You're the sister. And allow us to be able to blossom, grow, and be part of that. I'm going to play that again. What do you think? Go ahead.
But that's one of the things that we need
I'm being nice to you too.
Also, I know, thank you. That's one of the things we also need to look at that irritates me, is the idea of the thug being something negative. And she used that term thug, but what she's really saying is I just want somebody that I can count on to have my back. Yeah, that's a protector. To protect
That's
me.
A protector.
Exactly.
That's the concept of a protector.
Yeah.
A guy from the street has been stereotypically made it look like he's going to be a protector. I mean, he knows how to physically fight when it's necessary. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. That's the only particular image. So any of the warriors, anybody that's maybe might been like a Shaft, who was what was he in this particular case? What was Shaft?
He was a detective.
Yeah. Or maybe just a plain father, a father like you saw in Good Times, or a father that you saw. What's other Black males? The father that we saw with Will Smith. I mean, how about all the other fathers? Sidney Poitier, maybe other fathers. I'm going for the movies, sadly, because we ain't seen too many Black fathers who are not thugs, and if they are not, they look like they couldn't protect not even a fish out of a bowl. So that.
But that's is also judging the problem by its cover.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's just one part. Mm-hmm. Okay, but how about all the parts I always spoke of a few minutes ago? That's not being shown. Right. That's not being presented. It says it shouldn't even happen. If they do, they're weak. Never the concept. And I'm gonna play it again so we can listen to it. How's that?
Yes.
hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, and it stopped that just with a little bit of thug. You know that's what it stopped at. Hold on, let me do something. Hold on, you guys want to flush something real quick? They're gonna do that sound too. See if that does any good. I doubt if it's gonna do any good. That just when she says a little bit of thug, it stops.
Yes.
Anyway, you want to finish up, sir? Because I think it's going to be stopped
Yeah,
in this level.
it's not gonna move
No,
anymore.
we're having a bad problem with it. Yeah. Let me just take it out of there. Go ahead. You go and say the rest of it.
Yeah. So you know what she was saying. You know, we also want a man that's a little bit of thug.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? The problem is we want to pick and choose. We want him to be loving. But when we turn around and say, you know, I got a problem over here, go solve it.
Mm-hmm.
We expect him to go solve it, but we don't give it back in return. It's not reciprocal. He can't. A lot of times we don't want to have him come to us and say, I've got a problem I need you to help me solve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, well, who you think I am? I'm not your mama.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we need to be your mama sometimes.
Mhm.
Maybe we need to be that shoulder for you to cry on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can, you know, see you watch a movie and have tears because it has triggered something
Just don't tell
from-
nobody.
from
Nah,
your past.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's wrong with us walking over
Mm-hmm.
and putting an arm around and saying it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
or saying I understand?
Look,
Maybe
you can
not
tell I'm
from-
looking suspicious already.
Yeah.
Which-
Maybe
so I'm
not from-
side-eyeing her.
Yeah.
Like, really?
But-
you
but-
doing this for just the
No.
camera?
Now,
Are
you know,
Are you being real about it? I don't know.
I'm being real about
Okay.
that. I'm being real about that because
We got you recorded too. by the way.
exactly.
Okay.
And you know, it's okay to do that, and it's necessary to
You
do
okay
that.
for me to do what I just said?
No.
The old civil rights way, which is what?
I have no idea.
That's why I had to say it that way,
Oh.
which is prove but what?
Oh,
Verify.
that was
She couldn't even get it.
okay.
She couldn't even. That's why I have to do the proof
But
and then verify
Yeah, but-
the old civil rights way.
but you
Yeah.
know that has been done.
Oh,
I
really? Okay.
I can do that.
Yeah, right.
I can do
That's
that.
what you be thinking. That's what you be moving on to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
And I
Hey, that's
have
taken
done
for
that.
granted.
No,
And
no.
that's another thing that we talked about before. In fact, we haven't talked about that much. That's taken for granted. But, no,
But I have
you
done.
don't take it for granted that I, in turn, have emotions, have a right to them.
Yes,
you
you
don't.
do have a right to your
Well, that's
emotions.
not pretty much got that far as being taken for granted in our relationships, especially African American relationships. It really has. And you
No,
know that.
No,
You know
It-
that.
o-
Anyway.
overall, it has
Yes.
not.
So let's agree on one thing
Mhm.
now, if
Yes.
all possible. Let's go to a commercial and let it breathe a little
Oh,
bit, and
it's
then
that
we,
time.
yeah, it is that time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Have you ever experienced a Juneteenth event? Come out to Port Wentworth and celebrate our second annual Juneteenth Festival. Friday, June 21st from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. Come enjoy our music, our food, our heritage, our culture, and our history. It will be plenty of fun for everyone. Juneteenth is American history. It's a day that we celebrate and remember. It's a day that we look back, but more importantly, a day that we look forward. Join us this June.
Okay, we are back. We are back. And she noticed that sometimes, even in a relationship, I get muted.
And
Oh no, we both are muted.
yeah, we were both muted, but yeah, it's because you're doing so much that sometimes
Is that what you do in a relationship? I'm doing so much that you just want to mute me.
No, what I'm saying is you just didn't notice it because it usually doesn't happen.
Thank you for telling me something that I already know.
I know.
Seriously.
I know.
So let's move on, as we were trying to do that in the midst of my emotions being shown. And now knowing that, because when I show my emotions as a human being, outside of anger and rage, and then call the police, we'll shoot them, or who do you think you are? You got a real problem for the rest of your life. It's like you ain't supposed to say anything. Oh, I forgot. There's the emotion of it, baby. I love you. I gotta have you. Ooh, you look at already you're reacting to it. I forgot there's that lover side emotions that if I present that, then it's well accepted. It's understood. But anything in between,
and
nah.
That's the only one that a lot of women are looking for all the time. Keep me happy instead of, you got to keep yourself happy.
Now, don't get me wrong. That fact of what is trying to come out of that is not something that is going to give a result or not being happy.
Oh, no.
But the fact is, it's always that much more happier when you are on the side of the pole, on the other side of the relationship, and you are also giving that loving kind of energy back in return too, instead of just receiving it. So it becomes a two-way street there. I mean, that's a maintenance thing we can talk about. But yeah, that's one of the things. So my emotions feel just as good when you are going out of your way to give that kind of energy back, sensual energy, sexual energy back from that end. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going through all of the people who are watching the show and talking to them. Okay, so let's go where we were. I'm back. I'm not going to do this other one because I was going to pull up another example, which we're going to be probably start doing, whether in this studio or the other studio, because all week I'm always finding through Facebook and other places stuff that have to do with the relationship, and hope you'll start getting on the board to do it much more. And we're going to use it as a talking points that we find that there are others who are talking the same thing we're talking, having the same kind of relationship problems. They might be having some that we don't, but they're giving good solutions on the maintenance side or other areas that we're talking about, or did talk about before, so you can get another person's point of view and keep us from having to pay for guests. But and her hunt for guests too. But anyway, I think it's another way to keep the show alive and moving to at the same time. All right.
Yes. So, as we continue to talk about this,
about maintenance. That's all.
Yeah, about maintenance.
What do they call this maintenance? You wrote it down. Let me see, pick it up.
This is
delusional, mindful disagreement.
No, that was
allow your man to be vulnerable.
No, that was the other one.
Yeah, that's this one.
The one that you're not going to show us mindful disagreement.
Yeah, that's true, but I wasn't talking about it. I'm not going to talk about something I haven't even seen yet. I just said that incorrectly.
Exactly. This one was emotional.
Extend me some grace, please, sister.
I'm giving
please, my sister. Extend me some grace like you like every day.
I'm extending grace.
Okay.
Extending grace. This was emotional. What was it?
I don't know.
It was emotional vulnerability.
Emotional
vulnerability.
Yeah. Allow a man to have emotional vulnerability. And we weren't again including an anger and rage. I won't say that it's not going to be justifiable. I'm not going to say that sometimes there's reason behind it. I'm just saying that all the ones Outside of that, we don't deal with. All the way to the other side of mostly the lover side. If they're showing the lover side, most of the time are stereotypes that were shown that. So that'd be like from the lover to the thug.
Yes.
Everything in between is
We
not
gotta
even
find
shown.
another word for the thug.
Don't make no difference. I'm talking about all the emotions in
I
between
know,
that are
I
important.
know,
That's
I know.
what we're referring to.
And
I
that
don't know why
is,
you're stuck on those two, because I know you like a thug underneath anyway.
that's
But that's all right. I got some of that in me. I don't particularly like to show it all the time, but it's in me. The most important thing is all the emotions that are in between.
yes.
That's what we're talking
Yes.
about.
And
Brothers get older, they don't want to have to play all that games anyway.
exactly.
You know?
And even young ones shouldn't
We're
have
trying to
play those
retire from that.
Yeah.
We trying to retire, but you want to keep us hot all the time in that area. It keeps us mostly angry all the time in that area. It doesn't keep us very calm. I mean, someone sent me to me not too long ago, something I put on my Facebook about some things that are bothering me. The brother sent a picture of, I wish I had it, I'd pull it up, a picture of a giant African lady. She looked like probably a goddess, and she's standing over a whole bunch of boats, but looking in the distance like an eternity, but looking over all of them with their hands outstretched. And he was saying, be at peace. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't know what being at peace really is. If I still got troubles going on in my relationship, I got troubles going on in my life, I got troubles going on because of how the system is seeming to be attacking me, saying in so many words, I ain't never going to be human enough to be accepted. I'm thinking to myself, what kind of peace are you talking about if we don't try to stand up for ourselves, or at least in turn find some place of balance? But I think he was trying to say at the same time, that woman in your life, I'm not for sure, but I'm going to find out, that woman in your life should represent someone with that energy, that divine energy that will bring some balance, or in this case, on the other side, some peace in your life, especially if you're a brother that has that emotional side that has not been expressed a lot, and he's only been used to expressing himself as a thug, mean, or in turn those who, I'm gonna say the other side, being a pimp or being a lover. There's so much in between. So yeah.
And that's one of the things that has been a problem from what I have heard talking to different females and talking to, hearing various people speak about what's going on. A lot of us have no desire to want to get to know the different aspects of the man in our lives. We want him to know us, and we want him to be our everything, to the extent that there is no anything that's important for him about him that is in the forefront. So a lot of times for the expense of our selfishness, for lack of a better term, we mute the man in our lives emotionally, mentally,
and verbally.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I've spoke to you about something that you would turn around and say, I heard you, but you repeated back. You didn't repeat anything I said.
Yes.
Or I said something and you didn't say anything in return. Yeah. Or I say something and you'll say something exactly opposite from what I said, as a pattern over and over again.
Yeah.
That is such a uncomfortable, hurt a brother's feelings that I don't know what to say about when we live in a society that pretty much says our word is not any good in the first place if it spoke, and disrespected if it spoke. Even to the point we were on the phone with the bank today, dealing with our own account that we both are in together.
Same account.
And the lady on the phone, hearing both of us talk, sat out and talked that she was more believable of Sharon being in this account than me being her husband in the same account. And Sharon told her more than once, this is my husband here. And the customer service person, I'm not going to name the name of the bank, because I already got a letter for them. And even while we were talking, that particular lady said in so many words, and you as being her husband must allow me to do this and this and this and this.
And I even said, we're in this together. I said this more than once. We're in this together. And what he says goes for us, just like what I say go for us.
And so she came out to do the perception very easily in her demeanor and how she mostly answered questions to her, which was, this account, even though it's in both your name, I will mostly respect her in speaking about this account than you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? And this was a sister on the phone, because I told her, hey, sister, why are you doing that? This is making me feel uncomfortable. Well, but she didn't even care. Didn't even care. I'm like, wow, what are you doing in that position as a customer service, talking to customers in that way? My thought is, I would think if they were Caucasian or other particular culture, background person, she wouldn't even thought about it. She would probably not have had that kind of stereotype in her mind to actually talk that way when we as a customer. I thought that was just very ridiculous, unprofessional. And I'll be honest with you, I particularly like it.
And this is even to the extent of saying, I have to deal with each of you as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's a joint account, So I don't get it. But anyway, that was a true showing of how even in society,
right now, a lot of black males are pretty much have a bullseye. I heard someone else say, is this young black guy that who a lot of people don't like. I don't remember his name anyway. Some people think he's a Republican. He probably is. But anyway, black males have bullseyes on them. We're not looked upon as being kindly as for being human beings right now, period. Especially males who are trying to present themselves as still being males, or in this case, being human. And in terms speaking about our emotions are being just as important for us being males. And it doesn't take us away from being males either if we are able to show our male side. Hey, my uncle and uncles who were very unique and did not in time, how can I say it, necessarily compromise with anybody. First electrician, the first plumber, the first particular brother I knew who flipped houses before houses were even learned upon being flipped. My uncle, my grandfather was going to talk about on Father's Day, who was one of the first porters to come from California across the country, knew what's his name, Randolph? What?
A. Philip Randolph.
Knew him personally, has a picture someplace whatsoever. All of these were black men, and they in turn were very emotional about showing their emotions. I talked to most of them, went around most of them, and they gave me some of who I am right now today. So I think we need to miss us when we try to say that black males have no right to be emotional, and in turn we not be concerned and sensitive to their emotions. I think we need to stop doing that. It ain't showing real love, and we need to show real togetherness. A balanced, healthy relationship is all about doing that.
Yes.
Because we're based on trying to be true friends to one another.
And just like women feel like they can show their emotions anytime over anything, no matter how large, how small, how serious, how frivolous. We feel like, okay, I'm feeling upset about this and I'm going to let the world know about it. But if the same situation happens, no, man can't do that. I can't think of how many females I have seen, cry over a parent who passes away.
Mm-hmm.
But I can count on my hands how many males I have seen cry over their parent who passes away, or have to, in public, I'm saying, in a public arena.
That's the main one.
Yeah.
The public.
And I grew up thinking that it was the thing to do, that it was no big deal, because that was one of the first memories I have of men who are who are able to show their emotions and be vulnerable in public. And that was when two of my uncles stood holding each other. My great uncles stood holding each other off at the side of the room, and just bawling out loud when my great grandmother was laid out in the casket at her wake. They were physically, visibly showing that emotion and supporting each other through that. And I just thought that was the way it was.
That is about the most emotion that on the side that's the opposite from anger, because anger is emotion, and that's usually shown of us, and therefore we look at that emotion as being hard, being mean, being a ordinary thing. We sometimes, many times, we're catching men, especially black men, sadly. Okay,
Yeah.
but the other emotion that is looked upon as being soft, meaning not ending in violence, not ending saying words are really going to hurt you in a bad way, I'll just use that word, is the sad side. There has been more showing that we've seen or in Tarantino movies where a man is crying over someone who died, especially the moms.
Yeah.
Okay? Sometimes it will be a close friend. I remember in Cadillac Records, the brother who played the guitar player, Mudbone.
No. Little somebody.
Oh, no. Anyway, on Cadillac Records, he played a blues, a guitar player, and I'm ashamed I can't remember his name. I remember before because he wasn't Hollywood. He was the other particular brother that the show was around, and he had a friend of his, a young friend of his, who played the harmonica, and he ended up dying. I forgot what he died
for.
Oh, he was killed. Come to think about it. Oh, he was shot.
Yeah, his mouth and attitude.
Yeah, got him killed.
Went
really
to the wrong person.
Exactly. And so I remember when they showed that little spot, little time when he was in his house with his wife, and he had to go through the process of having to find the right clothes for him to wear, and his emotions that were balled up over how close he was to that young man who played in his record was as a son. And he treated him like he was a dad. And he walked into this other room. Why? Oh, it brings me to tears right now. Why his wife was outside, and he bawled like a baby.
Yes.
And this brother, watch a Cadillac Records one time. You see it for yourself. Muddy Waters. I think he played Muddy Waters, who's a blues player on the guitar. I think who it is, who definitely showed this male image that he never cries for nobody. Yada yada yada. He cried like a baby when he was in there for his friend who was real close. I mean, he almost made me cry watching the movie.
Yeah,
seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Watching
Cadillac Records. He played that part so well that you felt that pain. He grabbed pain from other places in his experience of life and poured it out there.
He did,
and that's one of those things that it's very important that we are able to do, and we can't be afraid of that. I had to talk a student through that because he ended up in a fight with his friend because of something that his friend said that he never should have said. And when they both were suspended, and when he came back to school, he was saying, "I'm so sorry that happened, especially here. I don't want people to think of me that way." And he said, now they're talking about how I was crying and stuff, and I wasn't crying. I was just mad. And when I get mad, I'll have tears in my eyes. And I had to talk him through it. Like,
but sometimes that is emotion of anger, but tears will be the one that comes out.
Yeah.
Because you're not angry with that person where you want to see physical harm, or you want to see psychological harm, or you want to see them even killed. It is an anger of this person unjustifiably got wrong.
Yeah.
This person had something that was not fair, righteous, and equal in life that came against him or her and made this thing happen. And it was out of my control and out of their control. And therefore, the emotions that I can only cling to, or in this case, express as tears. Because tears are usually have that, how can I say it? They're in their domain, the domain of something I don't really have total control of. But this is emotionally what is going to come out.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was part of what I was trying to express to him. I asked him, I said, were you hurt at that time? And I don't mean physically. I mean emotionally. Did it hurt your feelings that your friend came at you that way? That you had to deal with that? And as we talked through it, he admitted, it hurt him. I said, then what's wrong with you crying over it? I said, you're a
Because
human
that shoe's
being.
not attached to
I
it, as
know,
you said.
I know. But see, that's the problem.
Mhm.
He's been taught, he's another one of those young men that's been taught you don't cry,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and if you do cry, you find a reason around it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to break that somewhere.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we end up having more males, especially black males, growing into manhood, not knowing how to handle their emotions.
Exactly. Or then if they do handle it, they handle it in a very unbalanced way. Usually unbalanced way is, I'm sorry, I was looking at someone. The imbalanced way is usually anger, rage, okay?
Yes.
Or in this case, being too quiet. I just don't say nothing at all.
Yeah. Just covering it all in.
Yeah.
And if you wonder,
holding it all
Yeah.
in, really, which high blood pressure, no doubt about it,
yes.
can cause a lot of things if you hold it all inside.
And if you wonder why you hear of so many black males who
Drinking,
drink all the time,
smoke,
it's because
drugs,
they're trying to hide
hide their
that
emotions.
pain, that emotional pain
Mhm.
that they have nowhere to rest it.
To release it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you know, I can't rest it on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I can't rest it. I couldn't rest it on my mama's shoulders. I can't rest it on my sister's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me, so I'm going to drown it.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Numb
gonna drown it.
myself.
Exactly.
We got to stop that.
Or some of us would turn to one of the comedians, because comedians give us a chance, and when they show their emotions, mostly laughter emotions, to be honest with you. Of course, some people say too much emotional entertainment in minstrelsism. It comes out as a way of releasing our emotions that African Americans kind of do too much, even though it's an arena we really are doing well in, to be honest with you. And the expression I remember that fitted brothers like me and others who were not too much smiley all the time and didn't feel like always laughing all the time, or did not feel that we thought everything was a joke all the time. But yet at the same time, we knew that the world looked at it as being like a clown. We had to relate to and connect to, on Living Colors, the brother who played the clown role called Homie the Clown. And Homie used to beat up on people, especially some white folks and some black folks and kids. And when they pushed him to his limits by saying in so many words, "What really are you?" he would say, "What?
Homie, don't play
Homie,
that.
don't play that." I missed that. I love that show. And I hate that they got rid of it. I wish of a time like this, they need to bring it back.
Definitely. That was some good, raw, true humor.
Well, they stopped it themselves. I mean, it was at its height of epitome. There were some things they said they were fighting with producers, which took them, which was the fight they had to first get it on the show. But once they got on the show, I was way beyond its time, way behind its time, and for some reason at the height, and we could be totally wrong. I never know in detail that they pretty much said, "I'm pulling the plug. We're going to stop doing this." I don't know what happened. Then Jim Carrey just blew up after that one, and then so did the other ones, but Jim Carrey did. He always did give back to the family from the standpoint, as we see openly in public, that it was them that was the catalyst between where he just went to the moon and back again with his comedian stuff, didn't he not?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we're getting close. Why don't we tell people where they can see us, feel us, reach out to us? I'm going to try real quickly because we didn't do it the first time. We're here.
Exactly. Every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time, you can join us at 107.5 WRUU. That is a local channel in Savannah. And you can also pick up some of our past ones from rebrand.ly TTJT-WRUU. And you can also contact us at takingthejourney.com. Email us at ttjt takingthejourney-together.com. On Facebook, you can find us at TTJ Together, and on Instagram, Taking the J Together. And the telephone number is 912-421-8862. It's all down below. And please catch us, reach out to us, and let us know what you're thinking. And if you have some ideas of things that you are really pondering as far as relationships are concerned, let us know. And also remember, we are relationship coaches, and we would be more than happy to work with you and your partner in
helping you
helping
having
you
a more
to-
balanced relationship.
Exactly.
And balance according to how you two operate with each other and
Yes.
within each other. Again, one of your mates may be very emotional,
Mhm.
and you don't know how to deal with him, especially if it's a male. Well, we want to help you out with that matter, so he can feel good about himself, and you can feel good and better about him. I think that's important for us to
Very
move on
much so.
in a balanced, healthy relationship that's going to be able to vibrate and take us through the problems, the troubles, and the harmony that's still ahead for us on this earth as we move forward and not just stay still. And we certainly don't want to go backwards, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. God bless. And I'll share.
Continue to take the journey together.
Like this.